Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rollin' If You Got 'Em. I am Dakota, and as always, I am joined by Carl.
Hey, everybody.
And today I am walking you through how I'm painting my DeathWing colors for my Dark Angels. The model that I am painting is a converted, using them as Blade Guard veterans, but they are the Black Templars Sword Brethren. Did a little bit of conversions, pulled some iconography off, and just made them a little bit more generic because they look a little bit more grimdark than kind of the regular Blade Guard. So starting here, I do have it primed Wraithbone, and I'm starting with the Dark Cape first, just using a basic black, kind of starting there, so that if I do make a mistake and get onto that bone color, I can go back over it. Just with dark colors on the Wraithbone, I felt like if I do another step first and I can't fix it, it's gonna look real bad. So starting black and pretty much going from there. Hitting the whole cape inside and outside.
And so you're pulling this out of a wet palette, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a lot flatter, but it is coming out of a wet palette going on there.
Yeah, it looks super smooth.
Yeah. Yeah. Thin your paints. Even on these dark colors going on white, do a couple coats. Just the thinner you go, the better you're going to have, better results you're going to have. All right. So this black, pretty much the first, and like I said, I do inside and out, and the main thing is going onto this bone colored armor that we're going to see here later. I did not want to make a mistake and have to try to fix it. So just tidying it up still, really working my best to not get anything on the armor.
Like that spot right there.
Yeah. And like the thing that's great is I don't think I show it, but when I do get down the armor, I can go back with just like the regular Wraithbone and fix it. I mean, there's a few spots that I do get down there. I think I get on the shoulder here in a minute and a couple other spots, and it's just like, all right, I can fix it. I can fix those mistakes now.
So
later, I can't as much.
So you have the Wraithbone primer, and then you just have Wraithbone as a regular paint.
Correct, yes.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Next here, kind of the same concept. Starting with this Caliban green base coat on the tabards. So these dudes do have like a full front tabard. Same concept. Doing the darker color first before the bone color. Even if I go back and kind of get something on this dark color, I can fix it a little bit more carefully than doing that armor first and then trying to do these colors, because once you make a mistake, once I get the shade down that I'm going to use, there ain't too much going back.
Right.
Yep. So he's got a tabard there on his chest and kind of hangs down there lower. And pick all that out with this Caliban green. Oh, and his hood as well.
Yes. Yeah, it is a really nice looking color choices for this guy. The pale with the green and the black.
Yeah, I'm just a huge fan of that bone color for whatever reason. Anything that's like a bone colored, I'm painting it. And
right.
I love it. And then DeathWing, it's like, yep, that's our main colors. Okay. Next, I'm gonna do hitting my dry brushing. Actually,
So,
this is a step further. I actually do the bone next that we'll get to, but then I go back and I dry brush over the cape.
So all of the armor, what did you do to dingy that up?
I use the Seraphim Sepia wash.
Okay.
Yeah. So I take a Seraphim Sepia and I wash all over the bone color armor. And I do go back and dry brush over top of it.
Gotcha.
But I'm hitting the cape now just to try to start pulling out those details using that German gray that I like. Getting a nice darker color over it. You might be thinking like, oh, doing the armor and then dry brushing. Why doing that? Well, just you're pretty careful, from that point
Mhm.
on. Also using it to pick out kind of these elbow crevices and kind of like that, almost like under armor areas. I know he's got it there. I think he's got some on a wrist too, maybe. There's just a few spots like that you're trying to pick out.
Yeah. Just like the not metal places between
Mm-hmm.
armor.
Yep. Next for the green, I'm going to start highlighting and working this up to a brighter edge highlight. I use this flat green by Vallejo and picking out the high spots, leaving kind of the dark crevices. Don't really use a wash on the greens. But yeah, start picking out those high spots. And then since I'm using my wet palette, I can kind of like fade it into those dark recesses a lot.
I was just about to say that was one of my, because I just started to mess around with the wet palette
Mm-hmm.
right before getting into the speed paints, and I haven't really went back from the speed paints at all. But that was one of the things I really enjoyed with the wet palette was being able to do these highlights, and it was so thin
Mm-hmm.
that it blended really easily into wherever you were trying to take it.
Yep. Yeah, I love using it for this, and like really the hood. I think the hood stands out really well doing it because you can just start on the top, like across basically the crown of it, and then just kind of slowly feather it out and get it real thin, and
Right.
it just kind of all works together, and
For sure.
it gets pretty good results. And my big thumb's in the way. Next, we're going to go on to getting the gun base colored. Just a basic Mephiston red, picking out all the kind of the upper of it. Yet again, using my favorite red color here. And then just really taking your time, trying not to get too crazy as you jump through your different parts here. I probably take too much time when I'm going over areas like this, even though I know I'm not using white around them.
Right.
But thin your paints and try to be as neat as possible. That's how you get better at painting.
Get good.
Get good. Couple other areas too that I know I pull out with red are the sword handle, and there's a sword on his shin. I pick out like the there's like a cloth wrapped around it. I pick it out.
Gotcha.
The going into some shading now. I do a I forget what the color of the brown is on his belt, and I start shading that up with some AGRAX Earthshade.
Yeah, AGRAX is nice. It just gives you a little realism to the leathery bits that with just regular paints tend to look kind of flat.
Yeah. And it's Mornfang brown that I'm using on the belt there.
Gotcha.
That I used on the belt. And then you're going to start picking out the face here. Since I hate flesh, I'm just using Gilliman flesh in there. Nice and easy. Contrast. Get it in.
Yep.
Wash it out.
Yep. Nice thing about priming it with that wraith bone. It's super light, your flesh tone, hit it with Gilliman's and go on your way.
And then I do go back with the Mornfang after I've shaded it and let it dry and kind of start hitting those edges so that it is less, dingy on the edges. Kind of pick it up to make it, I'm not going to say clean it up, but just to give it a little bit of a highlight.
Right. Now, were you just doing one of these guys at a time?
Yep, this is the only guy that I've painted up so far. And I started with him too, so I could get kind of more proof of concept going with my colors. Well, not even with my colors, but with these models, how I wanted to do them.
Gotcha.
Then I get working on the sword hilt here, just using some Retributor armor. It has like a cross guard, and then the at the bottom of the handle there is a small portion that also gets it.
The pommel and the handguard, if
Yes,
I'm correct.
the pommel. Yes.
Yes. Watch a lot of what is it? Forged in Fire.
Yeah.
You ever watch that knife fight? It's like the
No.
Forged in Fire spinoff. Oh man, you gotta watch Knife Fight.
Oh wait, I actually have seen that. Yeah.
They go through like an obstacle course. It's hosted by Bill Goldberg.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about. Um,
bro, imagine in a Starties and Knife Fight.
but yeah, so going through pretty much carefully picking out that hilt as best as I can and not getting it on anything. Then I'm going to base coat this power sword. I hate painting power weapons, so I found this dude. This is kind of the easiest thing I found to do it. So Cantor blue base, and just get a nice even color on it.
So I got really excited when. So this is the way we do our videos. Dakota uploads them to our Google, and I download them, and then do the video editing and all that good stuff. So here, I saw this, and I thought I was about to get like some lightning bolt sword, like crazy. I was like, I think Dakota went to a seminar and learned a new trick.
I
And
I wish I could do that. I've tried a couple times. I need to keep trying it more, but
mhm.
I can't seem to get it right, and it doesn't look right. So I kind of defaulted to an easy way, basically Cantor blue base, and then I just dry brush on some Teclis blue, uh, and kind of work it in. I don't really go towards the hilt as much.
Right.
Really just keeping it like at the end, making sure I get the edges really well.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a separate video on its own. You lightning bolt this dude's sword.
Yeah, I need to work on trying it more. I'm just not good at it. And then I do go once I get him all dry brushed up. I do go and take out a detail brush, and I hit that little like thing that's coming up off the hilt, and I do give that just a little bit of this Teclis as well, just to try to make it pop a little bit because it's almost like I wouldn't say like a power cord, but something that comes out of it.
It might not be called Knife Fight. It might be called Knife or Death. I can't think right now. Anyhow, if anyone's listening, go check out one of what. Let me know which show it is. I don't even remember.
And then the last couple things here, just gonna highlight up this his bolter, Evil Sun Scarlet, getting pretty much. I think I go over like the top and a lot of portions of that. Lightening it up, and then after that, I do give it some Wild Rider Red on just the faint edges, just to give it a little bit of pop.
Nice.
Just a little bit in there, and then here you'll see the Wild Rider Red. This is more like corners and like extreme edges that I'm trying to pick up with it. Not
So this is a much lighter.
Yeah, it's almost more of like an orange.
Okay.
It's like more of a reddish orange, and I'm just barely picking out anything. Just one or two corners here, trying to make it pop a little bit. Yeah, again, like trying to get like that sight nice and bright. Same with the front sight. Just picking out those corners, and then from there, that's pretty much it. Pretty much everything.
How much time you think?
This guy took me a little bit longer. I'm
Just because
obviously
you're like planning them out as you were doing them, kind of.
no. I mean, I had a plan pretty much straight. From the get go, I knew what I was going to do, but just I like to take my time when doing these. Not a contrast method. So he might have took me an hour altogether. And you can see them there completed.
Gorgy.
And that's pretty much it. Kind of my take on a Blade Guard veteran.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the video. Don't forget to do the YouTube things for us. Like, subscribe, drop a comment on the video. There are links below to our Discord channel. You come in, chat with us, hang out. If there's anything special you'd like to see, that's a great place to put it. And follow us on Instagram. Until next time, bye.